Okay. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. If you're here, just real quick, if you could put something in the chat to let me know if you can hear me. And I hope, before we begin, I hope you don't mind if I primp a little bit because I just did my hair not too long ago and I'm really excited about this curl pattern that I have here. Since the vid or CV, if you know what I'm talking about, hint, hint, I've been experiencing some like hair loss and shedding because my body has gone through so much. It's just like what do you call this thing? Postpartum shedding. And usually after I had my two girls, I had some shedding right up here in my temples, and it's just kind of thinning out. So I'm checking myself out. I think I'm looking good. I'm looking good. Let me adjust the lighting real quick. Yeah. So, I think, there we go. That's good. I think I like that. I think some people would be like, anytime you're doing any sort of speaking, you're not supposed to be primping, but y'all already know me, so it's no big deal. And if you don't, welcome. I am Monique Head. I am a pioneer on the topic of femininity for Black women on YouTube. I'm the founder of Feminine Influence Finishing School. And I help Christian women attract a man who is husband material. So I teach you those skills, and you can use those skills to have success in other areas of your life. Hi, Monique from Tennessee. Welcome. So I didn't let anybody know that I was going live today. I just wanted to sort of pop on and talk about what it means to focus on yourself and how focusing on yourself doesn't mean ignoring men. Now, there are two ways that this can go. There can be the part one, the selfish way, and part two, it could be focusing on yourself as an act of kindness or focusing on yourself as an act of selfishness. Now, let's talk about the act of selfishness first, because oftentimes, when I talk to friends, potential, friends, family, whoever, and people I haven't spoken to in a while, I'm always like, so, how are you doing? How's your social life? How's your dating life? And they're like, girl, I'm just focusing on myself right now. I ain't got time for that. And even as I say that now, in terms of, like this sort of reenactment, replaying the situation in my head, there's this feeling of it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel honest. It doesn't feel truthful. And there's so many things that we as women say, that so many stories that we tell ourselves to the point where we get used to it. We start to believe that. And so even now, as I say that, it's like my heart is my breath is a little bit more shallow. My heart is palpitating even more. And it's because there's no truth in that, and those are certain things that, we women, we tell ourselves so that we can feel better on the journey. But oftentimes, focusing on yourself is really a fear response. And it comes from, a fear of being distracted. Sure, these things stem from not wanting to be thrown off your game, not wanting to be hurt, experiencing hurt and not wanting to feel that or experience that again. And that's real. I get it. I've been there. I think anybody who is having a human experience has experienced this kind of thing. And it comes from this place of maybe we put too much pressure on men. I'm all about using your feminine influence to be able to attract what you want in both love and life. And the problem is that many women, maybe you find it hard to trust. You're not meeting men who are husband material. And it's really hard for you to be open because of the things that have happened in the past. And maybe you just say, well, this is just how I am. But what I've learned, and as I think about myself, where I'm just focusing on myself because, whatever reason, I think about how typically before getting married and even before meeting, like in our dating phase, before getting in a relationship, I can be so whimsical, I'm so cool, I'm so feminine, I'm so light, I'm so free. But as soon as there's talk about commitment and, maybe a future, that's when my energy shifts, where I get more serious, difficult to please. My energy is more weighted. And I'm already like a big energy woman anyway, so can you imagine being around me with heavy energy? And I realized that is because of one word, and that word is attachment. And I remember one of my mentors back in the day, he shared with me something to the extent of anytime we are focused on outcomes and expectation and results, it really squashes any sort of opportunity, any space for inspiration and for like allowing yourself to be pleased and allowing yourself to be surprised, which is really where the fun is anyway, right? So thinking about attachment, attaching myself to the expectation, attaching myself to all these things that I foresee for myself. And I think for me, one of the things that I realized is that I would become so attached and I would turn into fear, and it would spiral down from there, because anytime the reality did not align with the vision that I had for myself and how I wanted my life to be and on the journey and the path that I was on, it was like, okay, I have to fix it. And when I couldn't fix it, it was like, never mind, I'm just gonna focus on myself and do me, because I ain't got time for this, right? If you understand, if you feel what I'm saying, just say, I hear you, Mo, in the comment section. And so here's what I want you to know, right? My fear manifested, expressed itself in the form of needing to fix things. And when it comes to love, when it comes to attracting a man who is husband material, and just life in general, it doesn't even have to do with love, because there's a saying that says, how we do anything is how we do everything. I want to pause for a moment, because I know this mic is here and you can probably hear me swallowing and everything. And if you're new to me, I am in recovery from a severe case of CV and pneumonia and respiratory failure. So if you see me, like, part of me feel like I want to hack right now. Like, I don't want you to be like, this girl ain't got no manners. No, I'm in recovery and I'm just putting you on notice right now. Okay. So what was I saying? So fear, I read it in the book, a book that I always mention is called Love is Letting Go of Fear. And that fear is a call for help and therefore a request for love. So rather than being like, I'm just focusing on me right now, to the extent, like to the detriment of love life, to the detriment, like ignoring men, just being on your narrow, one-minded journey, it doesn't have to be like that. That's really, even now, like I said, I feel my breath like becoming more shallow as I say that. And I wonder if you feel this too. Let me know. If you begin to pay attention to your body, these are certain things that you will begin to feel. So, how can we change things around? So yes, focusing on yourself can mean you can do it as an act of selfishness. But what about when you turn and flip the script and create and make it an act of kindness, an act of self-acceptance, an act of permission, right? And this is true, especially if you're a mom, right? Or maybe you're caring for an aging parent. And maybe in other relationships, maybe you've been married before, or you've been in relationships and you have felt like caring for yourself is just selfish and you feel a sense of guilt, but it doesn't have to be this way. I want to pause here and I want to encourage you, if you are picking up what I'm putting down, if you're feeling what I'm saying, I want to encourage you to just go ahead and share the link. Invite one woman that you know who you believe could really benefit from hearing this information that I'm sharing today. I would really appreciate that. So that, we can start flirting with the algorithms, because I'm getting back on the scene. So focusing on yourself when done well. Right? Focusing on yourself when done well allows you to concentrate on polishing your potential. It allows you to focus on your inner strength. And it allows you to come from this place of invitation and versus of creating invites versus repelling, right? Because when we're showing up with this, I'm just focusing on myself, and it's like I'm on this one-way mission, but it doesn't have to be that way. And it's like guarding your heart by pretending like you don't have one. And that's not true. It feels heavy. The energy around that feels heavy. That's the word that I want to see. That's what I was trying to say. And when it feels heavy, intense, and tight, I feel like my anxiety goes up. Sometimes you may go into panic mode. However it manifests for you, like physiologically. These are things that you want to start paying attention to, because as you are on your journey to attract the man you want, to attract a man who is husband material, it's going to require you to be your optimal self. Like the journey of love, marriage, life, like a lifelong loving relationship requires the woman to show up as her optimal self. Now, this doesn't mean like you can't feel and be sad, you know. It means being where you are, being where your feet are planted. And that's what, so that, this is a good segue. So what does it look like to focus on yourself in an attractive way? It means conquering the inner game, conquering your inner game. It means releasing fear so you can give your attention to the present, right now, being where your feet are planted. And number two, how can you show up in a way where you are really focusing on yourself as a means of filling up your cup so that you can have more tenderness and you can have more care? It means having fun in the process. You know, so and it doesn't have to be an either or. You know, I think that's the thing that many women come across. It's like, well, I can't have love and success. I have to have my body right. I have to have the degree. I have to do these things before I can have this. And it doesn't have to be an either or. And here's my example. I remember, you know, getting laid off from my job in Detroit as a teacher. Actually, I was in a suburb of Detroit at that time in Southfield. And this was like 2008. So, you know, the automotive industry was going down, like the economy was like, wah! And I had gotten laid off. All the families were moving away. And I said that this is my time to go to law school. I can't remember how old I was. But I remembered that, okay, you know what? This is my opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. I am going to pursue my law degree and the place that I want to be, like the city that I want to be in, because I thought about, okay, and I'm going to meet my man while I'm there. That's what I said to myself. I'm going to go to law school and I'm going to meet my man when I'm there. So guess what? I had to think and be clear about my vision and my values. I had to be clear about what I wanted. And for me, I thought that I was going to be in Houston, New York, DC, or maybe like North Carolina or somewhere. But God planted me in St. Louis. God planted me here in St. Louis, and room was made for me here. So I'm saying that to say that I didn't meet my man when I was in law school, and I didn't think that he was going to be here anyway. But I was on my mission still. I was on my vision. I was going after my desire and my goals, while at the same time remaining open, having fun, showing up in ways that were still very joyful to me. And that's what I want to impart in you today, is that a part of me, you know, conquering my inner game was about, because for me it was like, okay, I need to focus on the schoolwork. I don't need no kind of distraction at all. Even, you know, after school, after graduating, I was like, I don't need no kind of distraction. I need to find a job. I need to get myself settled, this and that. But the truth is that when I was so open, that's when I had the most like gifts. That's when I had more men wanting to do for me. That's when I had, like, I was in a good place, even though I wasn't in a good place, if you know what I mean. I was really open and receptive, because I was operating in my feminine influence, and I was focusing on myself as an act of survival, as a way to thrive. And when I say survival, there's so many ways that I can take this right now, but I want to focus on as a way to thrive, focusing on yourself as a form of acceptance, as a form of permission, as a form of love, as a way to reset your nervous system, as a way to reset that nervous system, to regulate yourself so you don't freak out when it comes to having what you want. So what I was going to say a while ago, a part of the reason why I believe I had such a severe case, why I was attacked like that, was just because I was not caring for myself. I let myself go severely. And I'm grateful for the disruption that created a pattern interrupt to really shift my perspective. And these sort of pattern interrupts can come in a lot of ways: health scares, death, births, mentorship, right? They can come in the form of like a verbal blessing, a verbal affirmation that shifts you and changes you and puts you on a new path in a new direction. I don't want to be here before you too long, because my daughter is sleeping and I want to be done before she wake up so I don't hear a lot of noise. But there are skills that I teach to help you cultivate your secret garden. So what I'm sharing with you today is a part of your secret garden. This is the thing that you keep close to your heart. This is the thing that is necessary for women as we evolve, because guess what? You as a woman, you reign in a position of influence. You influence men way more than they will ever influence you. Okay, so when you begin to cultivate when you begin to water your garden and cultivate it, what happens is that you alter how you approach and how you show up for love and for life. Okay, so listen, this is your invitation. I'm going to be hosting a private training soon for women who want to work with me. It's a private training, which means you have to apply to be able to receive the invite. So it's not there yet, but I'm going to leave the link soon. You can go to feminineinfluence.co/application. feminineinfluence.co/ whatever it is, /application. And apply, read it out, see if this is something that you want to do. But yeah, if you're serious about working with me to attract a man who is husband material and feel confident and ease on your journey, I want you to go ahead and go there and apply. And yeah, I will see you in the training that's going to be hosting really soon. So with that, I'm logging off. I'm so happy to be back too, y'all. Oh my goodness, it feels good. I'm making great progress, thank God. And I want to tell you, if you want to come again, I'll be here on Thursday at this same time at 2 p.m. Central. God willing, I'll be here at that time, and I'll see you then. Take care, and God bless. Bye. Let's see how we end this thing.